This just came out yesterday for immediate release. This is a press release from the Association of Chiefs of Police of
It
Canada.
was probably a press relief too.
Yeah, that too. The volume of protests and demonstrations in Canada is creating an unsustainable demand on police services across the country.
Oh, this drives me nuts too.
We haven't even got to the right hasn't even started freaking out yet.
No, I know.
So August 13th, Halifax, Nova Scotia. The Canadian Association of Chiefs of Polices, CACP, concludes in its 119th annual summit in Halifax, Nova Scotia today. The professional program focused on the impact of global events on local policing. One key conclusion of the summit is that global conflicts have led to an increase in the frequency, duration, complexities, risks, and threats of protests and demonstrations in communities across Canada, creating an unsustainable demand on police services and operations. Police leaders expressed concerns about having to pull dedicated police teams away from their regular duties to reassign them to help manage public assemblies, or having to hire extra staff or pay overtime to meet the increased demand for service. Police chiefs also noted that protesters are increasingly escalating from peaceful demonstrations to more high-risk situations, posing an increased threat to officer and public safety. It's for the police when negative public police interactions take place elsewhere in Canada or around the world, so negatively and often unfairly affect the perception of, reaction to, and respect for police officers in their community. The increased number of police public interactions that involve verbal and physical assaults, swarmings, and other threatening or deadly acts directed, not deadly, clearly, directed at officers is not only problematic, but unacceptable. As the public takes to the streets, many are also taking to social and traditional media and to the use of artificial intelligence and other new technologies to express their discontent and demands. They're using artificial intelligence to spam the police.
Oh, it's just unbelievable.
Protesters are increasingly going online to target or dox police officers with malicious intent, negatively impacting the reputation of the officer, the police service, as well as the police profession. During the summit, delegates attended sessions on strategic intelligence, public order management, crisis management, artificial intelligence, as well as the importance of officer safety and public safety. Stated Chief Don McLean of the Halifax Regional Police. There is a diversity of needs, expectations, and concerns related to policing. Those expectations are high, and it means that we have to engage and adapt our thinking and our practices. On July 23rd, the members of the CACP adopted Resolution 2024-3 to address the impact on policing of an increase in the volume of and harmful content of protests. Canada's police leaders are calling on all levels of government, federal, provincial, and municipal, to acknowledge and address the unsustainable demand on police services. To meet the increased demand for service created by increased protests and demonstrations, while ensuring officers and public safety, will require the morale and financial support of all levels of government to acquire the necessary human resources, equipment, and training to enact required legislation to make it illegal to dox the police, stated Commissioner Thomas Carrique, president of the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police.
You know what my big question is after all that?
What?
How would it have been if they would have handled the actual violent protests properly from the start? Like the Summer of Love stuff, the BLM stuff, all that stuff that they allowed. It's very much been two-tier policing as far as protests go too. Protests for freedom aren't really allowed or looked upon. The police, you see how it all backfires, right? If they would have been consistent from the beginning, maybe they wouldn't be in this mess, because people wouldn't be going out there being posing such a threat if they knew that they were actually going to get the book thrown at them, when they should have allowed the peaceful stuff to happen, and they should have been very clear on and very even-handed on how they deal with this. But this is the backfiring of the two-tier system that we're all experiencing in West the West, everywhere.